Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pin and this is our snack for the journey, and we are already in the end of the week. Another week and another book in the New Testament now. The New Testament, the first letter from Paul to the Corinthians. A troubled church. And no matter how many pastors, good pastors they had, they still had problems. So if you think that your church is bad, I suggest you to read the first letter that Paul wrote to the Corinthians. And then you're going to throw your arms in the air and thank God for your church. And say, oh Lord, my church is great, the leadership is great. I love my church because it was tough. That church was tough. So please read the whole thing, and you're going to see that how nice, how good is your church. And today we're going to see one of the topics, because I mentioned to you that Paul is dealing with topics and situations and doctrines. Sometimes is sometimes a behavior thing, sometimes a belief thing. And today we're going to see one of the most important chapters in this whole letter is the chapter 15. And it's the chapter that talk about resurrection. Because some brothers there in the church of Corinth, they were having problem with the resurrection because they did not believe that the resurrection already happened. Others believed that already happened. They did not believe that the resurrection would happen. And some people believed that the resurrection already happened. It was crazy. That it's not going to happen. Oh, it's something in the past and all that. And Paul now it's dealing with that. And some brother said, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just a kind of a figure of speech, and it's not going to happen. It didn't happen. Jesus didn't come back from the dead, and there's no hope for us. And Paul is dealing with that. In the chapter 15, the whole chapter, if you want to learn about resurrection, not only Jesus' resurrection, but our resurrection, you go to 1Corinthians 15 and you're going to find out what Paul is teaching, what was the teaching of the church at the beginning about the resurrection. And I want to share just two verses to you. It's in chapter 15, verse 13 and 14. This is what Paul wrote. If there is no resurrection of the dead, then not even Christ has been raised. And if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. The resurrection is the main theme on the first church there at that time. If you go to the book of Acts, the preaching and the teaching and the witnessing was about the resurrection of Jesus. Jesus is the Son of God incarnated that lived a perfect life, and he was the Messiah, and he was crucified, dead, and the third day he resurrected from the dead, and he is alive. That was the preaching. Jesus is alive. He's not dead. And because he is alive, we will resurrect too. We will live too. We will have eternal life. We will come back from the dead too. And what the church there, they were having problems. Some brothers and sisters there, they're having problem believing in that there is a real resurrection. It's not going to happen. And Paul is very, very clear. Say, look, if there is no resurrection, then Christ even Christ has been raised. He's not. Even Christ is being raised. He did not resurrect. And if he didn't resurrect, if Jesus did not raise from the dead, Paul says that our preaching is useless. We are talking gibberish. We're talking nonsense. From the pulpit. Our preaching is useless. It's not going to make any difference at the end. And your faith is useless too. There is no faith. Where do you believe? What do you believe? What do you believe? You believe that Jesus came, died, and resurrected, and because we believe in him, we're going to die and we're going to resurrect again to live with him. This is what we believe. This is what we preach. If resurrection does not exist, Jesus did not resurrect, and if he did not resurrect, then our preaching, what we are teaching and preaching, what we believe is useless, and our faith is useless. There's nothing. What we're doing here, we're having fun, we're singing together, we're gathering together to help other people, and this is it. Life ends right here in this world, and there is no life after that. And Paul is teaching them that no, that is wrong. There is resurrection. Jesus is the first one, and then we're going after. We're going after him. He opened the door, and then we're going to go with him. He is the first one. And then throughout this chapter, he's going to talk about the importance of the resurrection, how the resurrection is going to happen, when the resurrection is going to happen. All the details, he's going to tell the details there. But the main point here is the importance of believing. Because if you do not believe that Jesus is alive, then what are we preaching? If Jesus is still dead, our preaching is useless. Our faith is useless. If we do not believe that Jesus is alive, there's nothing that we can preach, and there's nothing that we can believe. What do you believe? There's nothing. So Jesus is alive. He died. On the third day, he rose again. And because he is alive, and we believe that he is alive, we preach, we teach, we talk, we give our witness of our testimony, and we will be raised too. That is our hope. That is our faith. And there is life after death. And this is what we preach, and this is what we believe. And this is what we should share with everybody around us. And this is our snack for the journey. God bless you.